Hey! Has anyone ever called you an old soul and you never knew whether to take that as a compliment or an insult? Do your dated sensibilities make it harder and harder to relate to these kids?
Hey dude, what's going on?
Teenage rebellion.
Yeah, stick it to the old people.
Well, congratulations! You might be an Ancients Paladin. But what is an Ancients Paladin? Well, blast yourself some of the golden oldies or fall asleep to a few episodes of American Pickers and prepare to be perpetually roasted by every generation that came after you.
Okay, boomer, okay, boomer, okay, boomer, okay, boomer, okay, boomer, okay, boomer.
These kids and their cell phones and their Bluetooth and their Google machines, they don't understand anything about the real world. Why, back in our day, we did things right. No, further. No, not nearly far enough. Did I stutter? Further back, damn it. There we go. Back when civilization was a new concept and everyone lived in tune with the world around them. That's what I miss. None of this artificing or wizardry crap. Magic came from accidentally running into a random deer that was actually a tree god or chatting it up with the local woodswoman only to find out she was a hag. It's also nostalgic. If only we could bring back the old ways, you know, when it was good versus evil, light versus darkness, none of the shades of gray stuff, just pure wholesome good vibes. I believe the kids call that golden retriever energy. Well, that's where we come in. You see, the Oath of the Ancients Paladin is probably the most straightforward of the Paladin subclasses, as there's only really one criteria: be the good guy. An Ancients Paladin's whole deal is the preservation of life in all forms and to make enemies of anything that tries to snuff that life out prematurely. And true to their name, the Order of the Ancients Paladin is old. Like elves don't have it on their calendar old, and they predate most continents. Which means that taking this oath for yourself is like carrying the same flame as hundreds of others have for millennia. And while this responsibility may sound daunting, you've got what it takes to keep it alive. But speaking of ancient systems, are you tired of running the same campaign in the same tired formats? Are you ready to experience a whole new revolution in tabletop innovation? Well, then I'm happy to introduce to you DC-20. DC-20 is the new system fans have actually been clamoring for, and pulls the best aspects from the best tabletop brands and expertly melds them with the homebrew rules we use to fix those brands anyway. Based around an all-new action point mechanic, players will have the freedom to try their luck with a huge array of techniques and skills, as well as mana or stamina points to blast foes away with upgraded spells or knock their blocks off with a well-aimed strike. But my favorite addition is the tiered success system that allows you to do more damage or succeed better the higher you roll. No longer a nat 20 is the only way to feel good about a meaty swing. The difference between rolling an 8 and rolling an 18 matters. Not to mention new weapon properties, maneuvers, and the ability to merge ancestry so I can finally make my new elf dwarf fighter, Legolimly. So if you want to be the first to try out DC-20, you can support the Kickstarter right now. Backers get all kinds of great stuff from hardcover additions to the book, beautiful metal dice, and much, much more. So go down there and hit the link and support DC-20 today. But remember, tell them Yemba sent you. A big thanks to the Dungeon Coach and the DC-20 team for sponsoring the show. And now, back to the video. So, you want to spread joy, protect the innocent, and be that one annoying friend who's always in a good mood no matter the circumstances. Like Superman, frickin' Boy Scout. Well, to do that, you gotta start out as a paladin. Paladins are unique in the world of D&D as their connection to the divine magic doesn't come from their faith in a deity or some contract with something possibly sinister, but instead from their devotion to a cause. And our oath to protect the world around you and foster the lives of the innocent fits neatly into that category. So to protect you and others from danger and ward against evildoers, we start out with Divine Sense. This ability allows you to spot any creatures that happen to be celestial fiends or undead within a 60-foot radius and register whether anything in that area has been desecrated or consecrated by some malevolent or divine being. As well as Lay on Hands, which acts as a pool of hit points you can dish out in any amount, allowing you to spend a single point to shock people awake like a defibrillator in full plate armor, or dump 5 at a time into a single target to cure them of a disease or neutralize a poison. You have an amount of these equal to 5 times your paladin level, so make sure you spend them wisely or just rub yourself down after a rough fight to juice yourself back up for round 2. But we wouldn't be any good at fighting against the forces of evil if we didn't pick up a fighting style. When it comes to paladins, you really can't go wrong with any of these, but I always love dueling and great weapon fighting for the offensive knight, or defense, interception, or protection for the tanky bulwark. And you also get spell casting, so you can— wait, did you know we can—
Nothing to it.
That's right, while those bookworm clerics may tell you real devotion comes from divine understanding, you know nothing lasts the test of time like a big ass bonk on the head. So now it's our time to do things the old fashioned way, with violence. Anytime you hit a creature with a melee attack, you can spend a spell slot, whatever those are, to instead deal an extra 2d8 radiant damage on top of the attack. This damage also increases by a d8 with each higher spell slot, maxing out at 5d8, and does an extra d8 to fiends and the undead, but allows you to lean heavily into the paladin strategy of waiting for a critical hit and laying down more dice than a grandpa when it's time to play backgammon. Third level gets us Divine Health, making you completely immune to disease because everyone knows old man strength is better than anything modern medicine can come up with, as well as spells from our oath that I guess I do have to talk about. But our spells are special, as our order keeps us connected to the old ways, similar to a druid, so we gain spells that help us stay in tune with the only thing as old as we are. Trees. That means we get the Ensnaring Strike to root an enemy in place for a minute and deal extra damage each round they fail the strength save. And Speak with Animals to ask a squirrel for directions anytime you get lost looking for your order's old stomping grounds. Or we could just threaten the squirrel with a devastating But who could forget our very own custom channel divinities like Nature's Wrath to create even more vines that can restrain a creature you can see within 10 feet of you if they fail a strength or dex save, or Turn the Faithless to throw up your holy symbol and force fey and fiendish creatures to make a wisdom saving throw or be turned by you for a minute, or until it takes damage. This forces the creature to do nothing on their turns but run away from you, and if the creature has concealed its true form through shape-shifting or illusion magic, the creature is revealed while turned. Just be prepared to use this anytime your party comes across a chest sitting alone in a room, because you just became the Demon Slayer / Mimic button for the entire group. You also get Harness Divine Power to restore a spell slot as a bonus action, which becomes incredibly useful if you run out of slots in the middle of a fight, but still need some juice to lay down a smite. 5th level gets us that coveted extra attack for 2 smites, attacks per round, as well as the Oath spell's Moonbeam to bring down a space laser that also reveals shapeshifted creatures. Wow, you really do have a beef with mimics. As well as Misty Step, which is incredibly good on a melee fighter, letting you bamf yourself into a heavy encounter to help out an ally, or lay the smack down on an unsuspecting bad guy as you go from spell slinging distance to directly in their face in a matter of seconds. But at 6th level, paladins begin to manifest their auras, which is a fun way to say a 10-foot friendship circle that can give you and your allies a serious boost, allowing everyone within the circle to add your charisma modifier to all of their saving throws with the Aura of Protection, and with the Aura of Warding at 7th level, you and your allies get resistance to the damage from all spells. Wait, what? All spells? Hold on. Fireball, half damage. Disintegrate, half damage. Meteor Swarm, half damage. Holy shit on a biscuit, dude. That is really good. And with your Aura of Protection, you have a pretty good chance of making the saves on a lot of these anyway, meaning that damage is possibly quartered. But while I could talk about melee fighters giving noogies to those wizard nerds all day, we do have to get back to some spells, like Plant Growth at 9th level to make even more vines as an action to fill up a huge 100-foot radius area with difficult terrain, or spend 8 hours on the same spell to create an incredible harvest for a town you pass through. And Protection from Energy to give acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder resistance to a creature, so I guess you can make that Meteor Swarm do like 3 damage. Jeez. At level 10, we pick up the Aura of Courage to make sure no creature within 10 feet of you can be frightened while you're standing, as well as give us more auras than Matt Mercer in an episode of JoJo's. And improved Divine Smite at level 11 to get another free DA to all melee weapon attacks, making it hurt just that much more when you swing on them with an insane At 13th level, we learn Ice Storm, which is nice storm, but not my favorite spell, making a 20-foot radius 40-foot high cylinder for 2d8 bludgeoning and 4d6 cold damage, and causing more difficult terrain. Great for mobs and flying creatures, but for the up-close fighter is kinda situational. That's why I like Stone Skin, to give yourself or another resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage for an hour, so you can become a wall of damage resistance while the squishies do their thing behind you. The only downside is that it's 13th level, and most things do magical damage at this point, so poop. But you could always just 14th level gets us Cleansing Touch to spend an action to end a spell effect on yourself or a creature you can touch, making the corrupting influence a thing of the past and really annoying creatures that try to infiltrate your mind. And 15th level makes us an Undying Sentinel. Now, even if the bad guys somehow miraculously figure out how to chew through your resistances and massive hit points, they still can't bring you down, as this ability lets you shrug off any attack that would reduce your hit points to 0 and pop you back up to 1 instead. nasty. And as if you weren't already hard enough to kill through brute force, old age no longer slows you down, and you can't be aged magically anyway, letting you maintain that incredible dad strength until the day you're ready to go. Whew, that's wild. But we're not done yet, because at 17th level we grab the spells Commune with Nature and Tree Shrine to talk to the trees or walk through the trees, and at 18th level our auras increase in size to 30 feet, giving all of our buffs to all of our allies without them having to group hug us the entire encounter. But finally, at 20th level we reach our capstone as an Elder Champion. As an action, you can transform into a bastion of ancient magic, sprouting a lion-like mane, giant antlers, or a tree-like appearance, or hell, why not all three, as we get some insane buffs for an entire minute. Each enemy within 10 feet of you now has disadvantage on all of your channel divinities, your paladin spells now cost only a bonus action to cast, and to be truly unkillable, you can also restore 10 hit points at the start of each of your turns for the entire duration. Holy shit, that's awesome. So, does the Ancient's Paladin stand the test of time? Okay, for real, how the hell do you kill this thing? I feel like this has been one of the most slept on paladins in the game, but I have a strong feeling many of you may be tormenting your DMs with this guy after you watch this video. Rarely do you see any subclass aside from something in the Barbarian column that focuses this hard on shrugging off damage, and I gotta say, it's rad. There's just something so satisfying about big shiny dudes letting spells bounce off their pecs and plates, and that just makes me happy. On top of all of that, you're also just a good paladin with a really unique spell list and a lot to do besides just smite. You have movement options and abilities to shut down others' movement galore, and the Fey connection works surprisingly well with the theming here. Going into this video, I knew I liked the Ancient's Paladin, but I think the more I thought about these abilities, the more I began to love it. And while this Pally is probably one of the most complete packages in general, a Totem Warrior multiclass could actually send your DM into shock, and that's always fun. So if you can bench a forklift at the ripe old age of 99, are pretty sure some evil wizard threw a fireball at you but all you felt was a light breeze, and can pull off some insane feats with your never-ending pull of geezer muscle but still can't figure out how to export a document to PDF, guess what? You might be an Ancient's Paladin. Hey all! As always, it's so awesome that you made it this far, and I sincerely can't thank you enough for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and you know the drill. And if you want to join your name to the cool people here on screen, you can do so over on the channel Patreon. Members get access to shoutouts, polls, ad-free videos, and more, as well as the highest tiered patrons getting games DM'd by me. So Spider Lover, King Osiris, Miles Not Yards, Tedsy, and Sora Sin, y'all rock as always, and thanks for your support. But if you want more of me, you can come see us on the Discord. We're always having a blast over there. So until next time, stay safe, say a nice thing to somebody you love, and I'll see you very soon.